and he's a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame back here on the Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you, sir. How are you?
It's always good to be here.
Now, it's the usual hand-wringing over the Pro Bowl that we see. The ratings are usually through the roof.
Certainly. Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason there's a game, by the way.
Right, I know that. And that was pretty amazing watching Mike Evans pick off a pass and then flip it to Saquon Barkley.
Did they get voted as defensive players or offensive players?
I know that. Now, that's the whole – I can only wonder what Pat Shurmur, Mara, and Tisch were thinking as Saquon Barkley's running all around.
On a wet field.
In Orlando.
You imagine if he got
on
hurt.
Defense, I know.
Well, not only that was he running around back there, but him and Kamara and Elliott are rushing the passer as defensive ends.
Now, because again, this is the issue for the Pro Bowl. Unlike the All-Star games in the other sports, you cannot stop a season in the NFL to play an All-Star game. You just can't do that. So when do you do it? It used to be after the Super Bowl until Roger Goodell changed it to the week before the Super Bowl because he thought, and I think it's correct, Tony, he thought it was ridiculous that the biggest moment of the season, the Super Bowl, confetti's down. Oh, wait, there's one more game. Like, it should be game over, confetti, trophy handed out. We'll see in September. And so what do you think should be done with the Pro Bowl?
Well, one, I understand. The Super Bowl is the crown jewel. It should be the last game. The problem with it is you have a number of really good players that made the Pro Bowl. They're playing in this game on Sunday. So
right.
It's not literally the best of the best because some of the best are playing this weekend. After that, I think the bigger issue, Rich, is the fact that it's not a football game. I bet you there was only a handful of times out of 100 plays that guys actually got tackled to the ground. I mean, it's two-hand touch, flag football without the flags, and so it almost becomes a little bit of a mockery. Now, I say all that, it bothers me, but the reality is the majority of people watching it enjoy it. The fans enjoy it. You can hear them getting excited. The ratings are there. So as long as there's ratings and everything else, I don't see it going anywhere. But if I was a GM, head coach, and I saw my star player playing a position that was not his, I would have been very nervous. And if I was an offensive lineman and one of those running backs lined up outside of me to try to embarrass me on TV, I would have been going full speed all of a sudden.
Now, had Barkley gotten hurt, I would have think, the coach of the Dallas Cowboys putting him out there on defense would have been rising to a little bit more of a substantive conversation than, say, officials are from Southern California, and that's why they blew the call in the NFC Championship.
It's one of the most ridiculous conversations we've had in a long time about where the officials are from, number one.
Right.
Number two, all Jason Garrett would have to say is his defense is, I did it with my star running back as well, so
that's
I wasn't
true.
Just dumb with your star running back. I was with my star running back as well.
I was dumb with every running back.
Everyone. I had no sense and did not care about the future of their career.
Tony Boselli here on the Rich Eisen Show. So I will give you the first XO-type breakdown on Super Bowl 53 of my show week. What do you think about this game on Sunday, Tony?
I think Brady and Belichick, the experience, all that they've seen, they've done, I have a hard time picking against them. I said that last year as well, and the Eagles found a way. And so I think the Rams give up a lot of points. They have all year until they figure out a way to play defense against the Saints. And so I think but I still don't think either defense is going to give up. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored. I think it's in the 30s, both teams. I just think in the fourth quarter, if Brady has the ball, that he's going to win the football game.
It's amazing.
He is remarkable, what they've done throughout their career together. I don't think we'll ever see again. They'll have a great game plan. They'll have, Belichick is the master on defense of taking away one thing that the Rams really want to do. Maybe it's Gurley. It'll be interesting what they choose. But at the same time, I think Sean McVay, he's going to give Belichick something that has not been put on tape yet. So I think the strategy, the chess match back and forth will be amazing, but I still go with Brady at the end of the day.
You were at the AFC Championship game.
I was.
So what happened in that game that he did?
D Ford lined up offsides. I mean, if you want to break down this matchup with a correct call by the officials,
it was correct,
and a correct call by the officials in the Rams game,
see.
And a football player lining up on sides, and you have the Chiefs and the Saints here. I mean, that's how close those games were.
And again, we are assuming that Will Lutz would have made that field goal. He wouldn't have. Fair enough. He wouldn't have parkied it. He wouldn't have wound up on the Today Show. Okay,
Sometimes
that
it
there would
works
have
if
been
you miss it.
that there wouldn't have been a Romo type
A
moment
ton
with
of
a
things
snap.
can happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Like,
you're right.
Whereas D Ford legitimately, by lining up in the neutral zone, wiped out the game-sealing interception. Not to rub it in, but
Rich, with that said, they couldn't stop New England. I mean, 94 plays on offense for Tom Brady. The 3 third down pickups, one of 10 yards, 20 yards, Edelman, and Gronk.
Right.
I mean, you think you have them. They couldn't touch them all day. The game plan by Josh McDaniels was outstanding. He took D Ford and Justin Houston out of the football game.
But what did they do to Mahomes that you think McVay and obviously even Wade Phillips, knowing what can come defensively, what do you think they are going to cook up for Goff that he might not have seen before, that you know his game could be susceptible to on that front?
What they did against Mahomes is they doubled Tyreek Hill. They said, we're going to double him with our third corner and a safety.
So who's that here? Cooks or Woods? What would
I think
be your
it's
best
Cooks.
guess?
I think you try to take Cooks out of the game. But what they did, they took J.C. Jackson, their second corner, and put him on the tight end and put their number one receiver. Put Gilmore, the number 2 receiver. So what Belichick will do, he'll figure out a way. And my guess is he puts Gilmore on Woods and says that Gilmore will take Woods out of the game. And if he has to double Cooks, and then force Goff to go to the third receiver.
Or it's Gurley's time. Like, let's see the Gurley from the first 13 weeks of the season. And he's the difference maker.
Well,
here in Georgia, by the way, which would be remarkable that the Georgia
Athens
Bulldog
is just right up the road a little bit.
Right, I
here.
know. So, I mean, his ticket request must be absurd.
How about the best running back, arguably in football this year, was taken out of the NFC Championship game because of performance, basically. I mean, C.J. Anderson, who was on 3 different teams this year, getting cut.
I mean,
is out there, and Todd Gurley's on the sidelines.
When Gurley goes to that podium tonight, podium 4 for those who are scoring at home, he's going to get, 50, 60 straight minutes of "Are you hurt?" questions. Hopefully, he's going to be ready for all that. Ask the question of Tony Boselli before we send him on down the road, Chris.
Yeah, Tony, poll question today. What's your favorite Super Bowl storyline? 2001 rematch, Sean McVay versus Bill Belichick, Tom Brady versus time. What's wrong with Todd Gurley? Are the right teams here?
I think it's either Belichick, McVay, or Tom Brady and against time. And I'll go Tom Brady versus time because 41-year-old football players aren't supposed to do what he's doing.
Certainly after they make it as a 40-year-old, too. 2
Yeah,
years in a row. As a 40 and a 41-year-old, will we ever see anybody over 40 do that back-to-back?
Is there a line on him doing it at 42? Because it's probably a pretty good bet if it's out there.
I turned to my...
not yet.
Not yet. So,
Super Bowl
let me
odds
know.
for next year. Not out yet.
As an NFL employee, whenever there's gambling talk, I turn into the unfrozen caveman lawyer. I do not understand your gambling terms. What do you mean by this over and this under? I don't compute.
What does the line mean?
I don't even know. Although I did hear you say that both are in the 30s. Both teams are going to be in the 30s, and Brockman was taking copious notes at that very moment.
That's my guess.
Our poll questions brought to you by our friends at Welch's Grape Juice. Over 400 crushed, decimated, and pulverized grapes crammed into each bottle of Welch's Grape Juice, which pretty much leaves no room for anything else. No added sugars, no added flavors, and definitely no mercy. The world's toughest antioxidants. Welch's tough as grapes. I hope you hear your name, man. I'm the one who gets to do it at the NFL honors.
Yeah. I hope I'm up there with you because the last 2 years I've been in the stands watching you.
Right.
With those 5 guys that get up there, but we'll see.
I am unbesmirchable. I'm a professional, but if there is a Sharpie you want me to scrawl in a name when I've got the number,
can you sneak into the room and maybe start lobbying?
I am for sale. Is what I'm saying. I'm basically saying
you don't gamble
for the right price.
You don't gamble, but you are for sale. Is this
thing on? We're off the air, right?
It's still on.
Is this thing on?
It's still on, Rich.
I do hope you hear your name.
Thank you.
I'd be honored to be the one to say it.
I
really would.
appreciate
You're
it,
a good
Rich.
man. You're good. You're blowing up as a broadcaster as well. Congrats on all that.
Thank you very much.
That's a round of applause for Tony Boselli, please.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.